All right, so after 5 years, all the way from season few, Jussbuss Acoustic, you don't know, making major moves in Portugal right now, in Africa, Europe at large. Yo, Richie Campbell, manners and respect for rolling on the show again, yo.
Respect.
See, a mad link. First of all, I'm just have to say respect for having us. You know what I mean? For everybody out there, Jussbuss team then in Portugal, Richie take good care of, we make sure everything all right and sort out. You know what I mean? We live good out here and things, so manners for that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's always good to have people from foreign, and anytime somebody come, just have to make sure say you have the best time you can have in Lisbon, you know?
Nah, for real, man. Come check Richie at Lisbon. He might the link for it.
Yo, don't put that out there, you know, because I got turn tourist guide, you know.
That's straight. But for real though, so after 5 years is a lot of growth, you know what I mean? Catching back up with Richie is a lot of things to talk about, so we'll just get right into it. For you, personally though, what's the biggest change for you in the past 5 years?
I would say is the music itself, you know, because I feel like we met, it was 2015.
Yeah, something
At that time I was working on my album with Nico Brownie, Lifeline Music.
Big up Nico.
Yeah, big up Nico, the real link. And at them time there, at that point, I was trying to make the best reggae album I could make, you know?
Okay.
Because my struggle was, as a reggae artist, was to kind of prove to everybody that I could make the best reggae album, you know, like, and be compared to Jamaican artists who I always look up to and see as the, like, the example I need to follow, you know, because that's a reggae band, you know,
yeah.
so. But there was a point in time where I just, like a shift in my mind where I started realizing I had to adapt and I had to make the music my own. You get what I said? So, because when I started, I really was doing dancehall and R&B.
Yeah,
right?
because
yeah, my first.
You might be embarrassed to find out, I looked up the first Richie Campbell where you put out on YouTube. It was like a freestyle upon like a hip-hop rhythm,
like
you see me?
Shook ones, like the
man.
Deep.
Yeah. So you can see the crazy, I mean, to see that and then to look at the videos with millions of views and the tours and everything, I mean, it really shows you, say, yo, artists out there, yo, stick true to your passion. I mean, you have to start somewhere. You know what I mean? Because no, don't get me wrong. It sound that way. It sound that way. We don't want to make it sound that way.
No, yourself, because as soon as we get back home, I'm going to take that video down, you know.
Nah, man, don't take it down. Don't take it down.
No, because people need to see the growth. Yeah,
well, I see the growth. We see the growth. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I mean, I was really just, as we were talking about at dinner the other day, I was saying that because of my upbringing, growing up with a mother that was always listening to reggae and the circumstances which I grew up in, which was like the area where I lived was like heavily influenced by reggae at the time when I started going out. All these things made me fall in love with Jamaican culture as a whole, right?
Yeah.
Reggae first, but you see, getting into reggae music at the time that I got into, you had Beanie Man around the place and Bounty and Vibes Cartel come up and I mash up the place. So inevitably, me get into the dancehall part of it too. So the whole culture just fascinated me and I just got addicted to it, and it was just like a crazy path from those times until now. And it took me a time to kind of know where I would fit in that place as a Portuguese white youth from Europe. You see what I say?
Yeah. Because that's one thing I rate about you still. I mean, you know, a lot of people might say Richie Campbell, you see a thumbnail and say, oh, this white youth. But I tell you, say, yo, Richie realer than enough of the artists them out there. And him really think about where him places in the industry and him not try crossing up. You know, it's like you understand what go on, but you not make nothing else hold you back.
And the audience will make you know that, you know, if you're not real, the audience will make you know that. And that's what I figured out after that album, that in the 876 album I did with Nico, which I love, by the way, you understand? But after that, I started looking at myself differently and seeing what I could do to kind of like progress in music and as a person as well and make it more me, you see me? And the next album when we put out was actually called Lisbon.
Exactly,
right?
Yeah, come and talk about that album now.
So yeah, because we were talking about changes and that was the main shift.
Okay. So it went from changes to Lisboa that's the Portuguese pronunciation?
Lisboa, yeah.
So in English we just say Lisbon.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So we learned something today.
Lisboa, yeah.
Yeah, so tell me about that project then now.
So that project I actually called it a mixtape at the time because it started from like experimenting with new sounds. I got my own studio. I started producing stuff myself. Started like I was starting the drafts of every beat. It was done by myself, you know. Then I got it to like Last, which is my producer Bridgetown, and he kind of made it sound like expensive, as I usually say, you know. But the whole concept of it, after experimenting with a lot of different sounds, was we got to the point where we figured out that the type of stuff that I was doing, the type of music that I was doing, could only come from me, you know, like me as a Portuguese youth growing up in a heavily reggae influenced household in Portugal at the time that I did, also being influenced by all the African influences that we have in Portugal, coming from Cape Verde, Angola, Mozambique, blending all of that together and making my own sound. So that's why we decided to call it Lisboa, because yes, I'm born and grow.
Yeah.
So this is where I came into contact with all these different influences, and that's where that album came from. You know?
It's a good project and people listen to it. One of my favorite songs on it is actually the song you have with Plutonia, is Eyes Open.
Eyes Open.
Yeah, isn't me? I like the visuals for it and everything. We're gonna get into that a little bit more in terms of other artists that you've been working with out here and thing. But generally speaking, I say, yo, people, check out that Lisbon project. Good sound, you hear the story of it, the evolution of the artist, and yo, you can hear it, you can see it. So congrats on that again, on that project there again. So let's talk about Bridgetown Records now.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, cause that was a big change too.
Yeah.
So them time there, 2015.
Yeah.
I was part of a next agency, and then we just decided, say, me and Ben, who's my manager.
Okay.
We just have a vision, because in Portugal at that time we were already one of the top artists. So we just wanted to use what we learned, because we did everything independent with labels, but always like on an independent mindset. Like we never like signed no 360 deals and all these things. We just had licensing deals, and the way we came into the market was really unique at the time, because we kept the ownership of everything, and I feel like the way we set up my career is actually a good blueprint for new artists that are coming. So the idea with Bridgetown was to kind of apply what we learned during my career to new artists that we believe have talent and can come up, you know?
Straight. So for people out there listening, you know, people don't really read the fine print sometimes. So Bridgetown is Richie Campbell label that him run with the, you know, theme crew and thing. And as him said, based on his experience, and me for tell you, like, check out the artists on the label. The man them have ears, them have visuals out there, everything, like I can't even, is another level.
Yeah, you can just find it on Instagram, Bridgetown.pt, and you can see the whole crew. We have the biggest artists right now in Portugal, you know. So and comedians too. It's just a whole thing, and we want to expand it and turn it into like a big entertainment like company, you know.
All right. So for the people watching out there now, you got people from the Caribbean, you got people from Jamaica. Are you interested in potentially working with talent from places like Jamaica, or you know, something like that?
Yeah, man, definitely. I mean, we have some representation for some artists from the US. Like, for example, we have an artist named Trace Nova. We do everything he needs here in Portugal. You see me? So we're always interested in working with other people from other countries. The issue is, like, for us to do the best job that we can do, it's very important for us to like be very involved with the artists. Because I always say, like, we don't just work the music, we work the person, you know?
Okay.
To me, like, dealing with a career, it comes with a lot of stuff, like difficult stuff to deal with, fame and ups and downs and all these things. And to me, as an artist, I know how important it is to manage the personal side of it too. You know what I mean? I say,
not for sure.
I mean, even partying with yo, people, you touch road with Richie Campbell in the streets, you know what I mean? You have to know what you do, you know what I mean? Because everybody, the eyes are turning. The man is a celebrity out in these streets. So even you, how you manage that, what was the transition like from, I mean, from, I guess, being not known to being really known, you know?
I mean, to me, I always, like, have to big up my parents, because I had, like, a solid foundation, and to me, that's the most important thing. Like, I never felt like I needed fame to validate me. Okay. You see me? So that alone is very important, because enough people out there never have nothing until them bust. And when they bust, it come like the only thing that validates themselves in their own eyes is fame. And that is a problem, because you're going to have ups and downs in a career. You're not going to be on top all the time. You're not going to be popping all the time. So you have to, if fame is the only thing that makes you feel good about yourself. When time comes when you're recording your new album and you have no hits out there, you go feel it. You know, it's not going to be a nice time. So, and maybe it's going to make you make the wrong decisions based on your insecurities and I'm not popping right now. Let me go up on Twitter and start some Twitter beef or something, you know?
Yeah.
And to us, that's the main thing, you know, is like making sure that you keep balance and make sure, say, you remember why you're in this, and it's because of music and you like what you like to do, you know?
For sure.
Yeah.
So right now, people, Richie have a song called Do You Know Wrong, all right? It's a girl tune. It's a song where you can tell that him write it from him heart, right? So right now, I think that's one of your most successful songs as we speak right now, right? That's fair to say.
Yeah, that was, no, for sure. That was the start of this whole change.
Oh, that was the start of the whole change?
Yeah, because Last just came to me with a beat, an R&B beat, and it was not for me like it was for him. It was just playing stuff that he was working on. And he played that beat for me, and I was like, yo, let me keep that beat there because I feel like I have a good idea on it. And I'm going to just drop an R&B tune, and it was the most played song on the radio in Portugal that year. It was platinum, like all these things.
So that's why you say platinum.
Yeah, well, that's a line point I tune. I said platinum, because at that time I had 3 platinum records, but I had to change it up because I feel like I have 5 now. Yeah.
Easy now.
Flex.
Flexing, Portugal flex.
Yeah, so yeah, that's a big tune, definitely. That was like a big changing moment. Yeah.
Nah, people, when the interview done, check out that one there. Do You Know Wrong? You know what I mean? From the soul, the writing on point, everything. So, I always like talk to Richie about dancehall. Some of the conversations I was having about dancehall while having dinner, very interesting and things. So, one of the questions I like to ask people though is, what bothers you about dancehall right now? If you could have changed one thing.
If I could have changed one thing,
or what's something you think about, like you think is affecting dancehall?
Yeah, all right, yeah, that make more sense. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, like, I'm a dancehall fan. Like, I love dancehall in every shape and form. Like, I love the more commercial dancehall. I love like the rough dancehall, like the most underground stuff that will never be accepted in other countries. I love all of it, you know.
Yeah.
So to me, like, I always want to listen to all types of dancehall, and I don't always look at it from like an international commercial perspective.
Okay.
But I would say that definitely, like, it's sad to see so many genres in the world that have been deeply influenced by reggae and dancehall, and seeing dancehall artists not capitalize as much as they could, and as much as other artists in other countries and cultures are capitalizing, you know. And I speak even for myself, you know, like I do dancehall songs in Portugal, and I sing them bigger than some of the dancehall songs from Jamaica, you know.
Yeah.
So to me, it's all about professionalism, you know. But again, like, Jamaica is a very specific place. It has a lot of challenges. Artists, usually dancehall artists, when they come up, they have a lot of challenges too. So I'd say, like, I feel like we were talking about coffee the other day, like, and I feel like what's missing right now is role models. Is role models that can make their path and make their way in a way that other dancehall artists look at it and see, yo, if I do this, I might be able to reach further. Because right now, what most dancehall artists growing up see is cartel, they are jail, so you can't really, there's only so much you can emulate from cartel right now. Right now. Alkaline is a very specific type of artist, like very recluse, never, like, if Alkaline look like he doesn't really want more than what he has, right? Then you have Popcorn, who is probably right now the dancehall artist that is popping, like, on a worldwide level more, you know? Yeah. So to me, I'd say, yo, just look at Popcorn, look what him do, and try to do better than him even. But I mean, like, in conclusion, I feel like it's just more strategy and just taking the music more seriously and just understanding that if you're trying to present yourself to a new crowd, there are some things you have to shift and adapt. Because Jamaica is a small country and the Caribbean is a small place, so at the end of the day, you're going to want to expand more.
All right, so artists out there, you can heed some of the advice from Richie Campbell, you know what I mean? Take from that what you will and things. So, talking about the Lisbon project earlier, one of the things I wanted to know from you was what's your personal favorite track off of the project?
That's a good question. Would I say maybe 23. That's the last track on the album.
Okay.
Cause it was a different track. It's not a single or anything. It's just like, I feel like that one there has the most facts about the story that like the whole history that led into the Lisbon project, you know? So yeah, that to me, because it's like more bars, like as a singing chorus, but then we just come with bars and just explain the story of what my mind did at that time, you know? So that to me will always be like a very important song. Every time I listen to it, I kind of get transported back to my mindset at the time, you know?
So, people might not know. All right.
Heaven. People have to go check out Heaven, because I feel like in Jamaica,
yeah,
a lot of people,
yeah. First of all, check out the whole project. Yeah, but them two there, yeah, just do it. Streaming, Spotify, the whole
put it on replay, stream it overnight.
All right, cool. Another thing I found interesting talking to you, as a man where, you know, more America, Jamaica side, my sit dancehall grow, Canada and them thing there. That's what I'm familiar with. For you, with your music, I was noticing that you know, you're telling me you get a lot of dates in like Cape Verde, some places in Africa and them type of place there. Break that down to me, because we don't really hear of you know, acts getting shows in these places, and I find it interesting because we'll expand on some of the artists later. But
I mean, right now, the thing is like I'm opening up markets that. Like, it's not like we're trying, you know, like the music is finding the people that like the music. That's what I usually say. And Cape Verde and Angola and Mozambique were the past colonies, so from Portugal, so everybody speaks Portuguese. So it's really an easy exchange. And plus we have a lot of Cape Verdeans living in Portugal, Angolans, Mozambique. And so it's basically like how the States listen, like how Jamaica listen to American music and vice versa, you know. So yeah, but to me, like it's been very interesting to start playing in those places, because in a sense, like people understand the music more down at Cape Verde than some places in Portugal, you know. So I feel like I feel home whenever I go there, you know. So it's a joy to just go perform there, and plus like Angola, Cape Verde and Mozambique are beautiful countries, so anytime we can travel and work and at the same time see one of those places is a joy. For real.
All right, so you and reggae, what's your relationship with reggae? Now that you've had success in reggae, you've success in dancehall, maybe even just a crossover, how you look at reggae now? What's your approach to reggae nowadays?
Yo, every time I see somebody every time in the street that tell me, yo, you have to do a reggae song, you have to go back to reggae and all these things. And it's not like I left reggae, you know. Okay. Reggae to me is the foundation of it all. Like, even like the type of stuff that I write about, like I wouldn't write the same way if it wasn't for my reggae background, you know. Like to me reggae is what birthed everything, you know, dancehall, and everything that has come from there. Like I saw an artist the other day tweet like, if only people had any idea how many genres reggae has birthed, you know? Yeah. You have most of the stuff that's going on in the States right now, all Africa, Nigeria, all these Burna Boy, Wizkid, all these great artists that are coming up, they were deeply influenced by reggae and dancehall. All Drake talk about it enough times, him saying him and Party Next Door grew up on Vybz Kartel and Sizzla, you know? And it just, to me, it's like reggae is the birthplace of all of this, you know, dancehall and all these different influences. So I have the utmost respect for reggae, and I will always like come back and like do what, I still play the reggae songs on my shows, you know, and I'm definitely gonna like do reggae again sometime, but at my time, you know. At
your pace,
exactly,
and your style, yeah, man.
Yeah.
All right, well, sound man. So we're there, it's 2020. The Lisbon project has been out, people love it. Do You Know Wrong video out there, remember people check it again. Bridgetown Records, remember people check it again. But what can we expect for the future? What are you looking forward?
All right, so I don't know exactly when this is gonna be out, but hopefully by then, I will have started putting out singles for the new project. Okay. So single out now. Look out for it. I don't know the name, but just look out for it. And yeah, I'm just starting to put out more singles. Lisbon to me was like a stepping stone in terms of finding my exact sound. So I feel like whatever you're listening to now is probably like perfect. Okay. So yeah, I hope you enjoy it. I'm just keep it moving, you know.
All right. So for the people out there that not following you on social media, let them know.
Yeah, just Richie Campbell on Instagram, Richie Campbell on Twitter, and yeah, I don't use Facebook anymore. So.
Yeah. All right, Richie, yo, once again, Manas for having in Portugal. Right, we're going to have a discussion about some more of the artists on the label. So check that video out too. You don't know, so keep it locked. And hold on, we're going to have the big bad performance as well. But we're not going to see that already, that I got outshine this. Hopefully not, but we'll see. All right, Richie again, manners and respect.
Respect.
See you.